Yes. So, hi everyone. We are here with one of my co-authors in this wonderful and already best-selling book, Visionary Male Leaders. His name is Alan Wick. He's from Sussex, and he's gonna talk about leadership, and he's gonna talk about also his great chapter, which is called "Why I Champion Empathic Male Leaders." I'm so excited about it because just when you read the chapter name, you know that there will be something very interesting there. Empathic male and leaders. That's interesting, right? Let's see what is gonna happen there. So welcome, Alan, here on the talk.
Thank you very much, Dimi. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. So, first, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Yeah, just to
Well,
fill in this gap.
I never know how to describe what I do, Dimi. If it's quick, I'll say business coach or business consultant or whatever. But the thing is,
Mm,
I support entrepreneurs. I support leaders of owner-managed businesses. That's my specialism. And
mm,
I work with them. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'll do whatever they need to support them. So I'm very client-centered. If they need coaching or consulting or advice or mentoring or just holding the space, facilitating for them, it's all to
mm,
help entrepreneurs uh, get the best that they can for themselves, their lives, their business, and so on, whatever makes them happy. And that doesn't, to me,
mm,
necessarily mean big. Bigger is better. It doesn't necessarily mean making lots of money. It can do, and I can help
mm,
clients make a lot of money, but often it's work that involves helping them de-stress at work or get more
mm.
time back at home and so on. So it'll vary enormously, but I'm very lucky. I feel like I've got the best job in the world.
Wow, I love it. I love it. So, I have one additional question. What was the reason to go into that? Was it like some purpose you felt, or it just happened by accident? There are different stories always, you know?
Yeah, it's a great question. Originally, it was by accident 20 years ago. I'd sold
Mm,
my last business that was manufacturing professional audio equipment. And I hadn't
mm,
had a good experience with that. And I really needed some time off. And I thought I'd take a year to think about what to do next and to do planning and, doing all the things I advise people to do. And of course,
yeah.
the cobbler's son doesn't have any shoes, right? And so
Yes.
I just relaxed for a year or so. This is in the early noughties. And then a friend asked
Mm,
me, who has a business, said to me, by the way, I know you're taking it easy at the moment. You must be getting bored. Can you spare half a day a month? Because I could do with a little bit of help. And I did that for fun. And I thought, well, this is good. I'm really enjoying it. And then another friend asked me the same. And within 6 months, I had 5 or 6 businesses that I was helping on a kind of
wow.
informal basis, like mentoring or non-exec director type thing. I thought, I love this. And I think I'm quite good at it. And I got good feedback. I thought, well, let's keep going and see what happens. And that was the rest is history.
Wow. That's quite a story, Alan. I mean, it's a really quite a story. It's just because, people, especially in their 20s, they believe that you need to go and, have purpose, have planned everything. But then you see that actually, a lot of the successful stories are happening like you just follow something which happens in your life, like, I mean, by accident or
Yeah.
some opportunity which is just coming out from nowhere. So let's talk about the book now then. How did you decide actually to be part of the book? Was it by accident again, or you were connected to it?
Um, I work with an amazing woman called Tracy Graves Sandy,
Mm,
and she is an expert learning and development person, and she's been helping me create a course called The Business of Business, which is like a mini MBA over 3 months. And she's brilliant at helping me get all the materials together and so on, the content for it. And she told me about this book that was being put together by Sarah.
mm,
That's interesting, and introduced me to Sarah, and we got chatting, and that's how this happened. So I'm really delighted and honored to have been asked to contribute a chapter to it.
Yes, absolutely, man. It's a wonderful book. Already you see the results which are happening in Amazon all over the world. But tell me, what makes the book very important nowadays for leaders and in general for people?
I think the timing is absolutely perfect, and everything in life is about timing. But I would say that, Demi, because I'm a drummer. So, of course,
Mm,
us drummers like to feel that we are the boss, and we sit at the back. Although people can't see us, they look at all the flashy lead singers and guitarists and so on. Actually, the drummer is in control of the band. So everything is to do with timing in my world. And I
mm,
think the timing of the book is absolutely spot on, because there's a lot
mm,
of energy at the moment around people becoming more empathic, leaders, whether they're male or female, starting to
mm,
learn alternative ways of leading, not the old fashioned. We've gone a long way past now the post Second World War command and control type of structure, which was fine for the 20th century, when
mm,
businesses were almost trying to replicate what factories do, where it was very, very controlled, what I call fear-based control. And you
mm,
can make a lot of money. You can have very successful businesses like that. And we hear of various brands around the world, quite well known stories of their cultures being toxic. I'm not going to name names, but there are quite a few of them
mm,
around where they make millions. And okay, if that's the way they want to do it, that's up to them. I think a much more successful way of leading businesses and so on is through empathic leadership, what's called the servant leader, of
mm,
making sure that others in the team are shining. Personally, I'm not
mm,
so keen on the word servant. I prefer the word
mm,
service leader. Servant sounds a little bit kind of
mm,
master slave sort of relationship. But I think leaders being of service to their colleagues, to their reports, to everyone around, to make them look good, to help them, the team, be the best they can be, is actually, it's logical. It's not just to be nice. It's logical, in my opinion, because it means the business overall, the organization, becomes more successful, a happier place to work. And lo and behold, all the evidence of purpose-led, empathic leadership, that style, they make more money over the longer term. So what's not to
mm.
like? However, my generation, baby boomers, I've noticed with people of my sort of age, men particularly, find this quite a difficult concept. And I sometimes get criticized, Alan, it's all too woo woo for me. What have you been smoking, but
Mm.
there really is evidence. Once I show them that this is a better way to lead their businesses and the evidence for it, I get converts all the time.
Yeah, that's a very well said, and I totally agree with you because I'm leadership coach, and I definitely see that actually when you are, like you said, servant or service leadership, when you really as a leader, your main goal is to help other people shine and just bring this potential, their great potential out. That's the best you can do, because actually they're the people who are doing the work, right? They're the people who are really there on the arena, and you are just. I also see nowadays leaders as more as facilitators, not as directors or something like this. So you facilitate, you hold the space for these people so that they can shine
Yes,
and they can
exactly.
focus on what they do, right?
Yep. Yep.
So if you can tell us more about your chapter, Alan. So this is the book. I definitely the book is something we already see that the book is something which people would love to have
Mm,
in their library. But give me a little bit more about your chapter. So these
sure.
words, empathic, male, and leaders, don't go very well together for some people.
Well, that's my point. Exactly. That's why I wanted to choose it to be, get a conversation going, get some energy about
Yes.
it. I totally disagree. Rubbish.
Yes.
Fine. Let's have that conversation. Um,
Yep.
and what I'm recommending, and why I really go for this, why I champion it, is really, it's a funny thing, Dimi. I feel like a
Mm,
poacher turned gamekeeper, because my own background, when I had 25 years of founding, growing, and selling various businesses nationally and internationally over 25 years, and my own
mm,
style was the exact opposite. Okay, so
mm,
I've come from a results driven, um, get to the goal, who cares how people are affected, do what I tell you. Might sound odd
mm,
coming from me now, and I know how I come across
mm.
now, but that was my style. And I
Wow.
noticed in the last few years that of trying that style, I had some bad experiences. There are things that I discovered
Mm,
and learned about myself and about my style, my leadership style, that were really not attractive, not good. And although I can look back and say, well, look, I achieved these financial results or those financial results, I
mm,
can't say they were particularly happy ships. And so it's been a transformation over many years to go from that type style to the style of leadership that I espouse today. And therefore, I want to shout from the rooftops about it, that having kind
mm,
of had a change on the road to Damascus, in a way, a turn.
mm,
Of course, it's like ex-smokers, right? They're the
mm.
worst people for saying, "How dare you smoke in this room?" It's that kind of thing. So I've got very strong feelings about it. And when
Mm,
I'm working with companies, if they ask me about their culture, if they ask me to help with the atmosphere, the behaviors, the type of culture they'd like to grow in their business, then
mm,
this is the type of thing that I think really works well for everyone involved. The downside of making that
mm,
change for organizations, Dimi, is that there will be some people who don't like it in the organization, particularly if they felt safe in a
mm,
fear-based command and control type of business.
mm,
And then the leadership gradually changes to more of an empathic service leader type thing, where the
mm,
responsibility is pushed down. It often exposes people who actually are more comfortable just being told what to do, and they don't like to be given that responsibility. So there can be a little bit of, a
mm.
bit of difficulty making that transition, but it's well worth it.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with that, and when I talk to some people who are in organizations, some leaders, do you know what they say? And I'm gonna just bring this question to you. But what about these people? What about they say, if I there's some people I cannot lead in this way. I have to just be like a director with them, that I have to tell them what to do, that I have to be angry with them. That's the way that it's working. So what do you do, what's your opinion on that, and how maybe empathic leadership also can help in this situation?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because ultimately my role in my work is not to judge. I mean, you're asking for what I believe in, and I've written a
Mm,
chapter about what I believe. But
mm,
actually, to be of service to my clients, if they want to run their business like that, and that's what makes them
mm,
happy, then I might discuss it with them. And
mm,
if they want to change, they can. However, what's interesting is, because I believe in this so strongly, and I've made it very clear on my website and all my social media, all my marketing, everything that I go out into the world with, I'm
mm.
positioned as love business. Love business is my positioning.
Wow.
So I couldn't be clearer on what I believe in. So by definition, the people that I
Mm,
attract that choose to work with me tend to already believe in that. They're already buying into my values, and they match them. So I tend these
mm,
days to have fewer and fewer arguments, if you like, with a leader, like you say, Dimi, that says, no,
Mm.
no, this is the way I want to do it. We probably aren't going to work together. We probably won't. It won't. There isn't a match.
Yes, absolutely. So tell me, Alan, a little bit more about your chapter. I mean, you shared your main message there, but tell me a little bit. Just walk me through it. Let's make people excited about it. So, what is about inside? So,
Okay.
what
Well,
is
it's
shared there?
yeah. What I've talked about is to the theme of the book, Demi, male and female characteristics, and what are our
Mm,
insights about so-called male, so-called female characteristics, and so-called male, aren't they? Are aggressive, right? Pushy,
mm,
dominating, all that type of stuff. And female, apparently, is soft, warm, cuddly. I mean, I'm
mm,
being oversimplistic. And what I'm
yeah,
saying in my chapter is that actually we all have both, male and female. It's oversimplified to say that male is this and female is that. You think of leaders like Margaret Thatcher in recent memory, right? I
mm,
would say she exhibited, and I met her, and her energy is, it's very dominating. It's
mm,
very do what I say. She's incredibly persuasive, strong personality, and she definitely wasn't leading through empathy. She was leading through strong beliefs. You're with me or against me. Which is it going to
mm,
be? So, and she's a female. And equally, I can think of a leader like Seth Godin, who he's a big hero of mine, and he's all about empathy, all about walking in the
mm,
your target market, in the people you want to work with, in their shoes, and understanding what it is they're going through for their business, and what needs, pain points, if you like, they have. And that means listening, right? It means asking questions. It's not about you will do this. It's about being humble and therefore being of service. So the same position I take in my coaching practice of being of service to clients, I'm saying if a leader has those characteristics, they will get better results. And that's what my
mm.
chapter is about. And I give various examples of how that can work, and also what type of things to look out for in terms of the business and measuring the results and so on.
Mm, perfect. So I got very curious about it, and I just really believe that totally what you shared is this big shift which is happening in the world, that people are actually um, people, employees, which most of them right now nowadays become more and more millennials and even the generation after that. So we want this kind of empowerment from our leaders, and we want the freedom to really show what we can do and to take ownership of what we do. So I totally can get your position of being empathic, because that's what we want. We want to be understood, and we want to be given the chance to be who we are.
Mm,
and
mm,
and 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 people, just to clarify, just read this chapter, because what I can hear from that is exactly what we need, and exactly how actually we can lead ourselves towards that. So I'm going to dive deep into this chapter, and I'm going to be with the pen and write down. So I hope you're going to do that with your notebooks. So thank you, Alan, for the wisdom you shared with us. Thank you for giving us this overview of your chapter. I'm sure people will be super excited to go through it. Before we go, let me know, just give a message, like what do you want to leave the audience with, whatever you feel
um,
like.
what I'd love anyone who's watching this or listening to it is, at least if you're not totally convinced about this idea of empathic leadership and this so-called softer approach to leadership, read the book. At least have a look at it, because if you're a leader that is going to be, to your point, Dimi, bringing in millennials, Gen Z, and so on, and coming
Mm,
into your business, it's all changed. Their expectations of the workplace are totally different particularly if you're a baby boomer, from what we
Yeah,
used to experience and the way we used to work. You have to get into this, or you're not going to attract, in my opinion, the best of the younger generations into your business if they feel that they're going into anything like a command and control or what I call a fear-driven type organization. You're going to get the best people by using this type of approach of conscious leadership. The male bit, whether you're male or female, it's the same message.
absolutely. Thank you for that message, Alan, and hope everyone is gonna uh, just connect it with themselves and just leave it, because that's so important for the world. Like this is a big transformation we are part of. I'm so excited to be together in that. And if someone had commented on the live chat with Alan, just to know that after that we are gonna have time, so we're gonna see the post and we're gonna answer if you have some questions. And yeah, we leave with that with the message which Alan said, the last message. So let's be together in this transformation. Let's go together and become more empathic leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Bye bye.
Thank you.